Plain and simple. Tua, Tyreek, it's their time. Miami has spent a volume of money. They are loaded offensively. They've been pretty competitive defensively. They got a coach that a lot of people respect. I think Miami is about to arrive as being an AFC power, not just good. Tua, third year as a starter. I think he's grown a great deal. He stayed on the field all last year after having a concussion issues, the hip injuries prior to that. Tyreek Hill, phenomenal. Blazing speed, one of the highest paid wide receivers. Jalen Waddle is the second in that mix at wide receiver. And when you average 18 yards per catch on the other side of Tyreek Hill, that's pretty impressive. And now they got OBJ. Odell Beckham Jr. is now the third receiver in the equation. The only negative to me about Miami is that they lost Christian Wilkins, the defensive tackle. They had so many issues with the salary cap. Tua's contract, Tyreek's contract, Waddle's extension. They couldn't keep Christian Wilkins, which I think impacts the defensive front. But I got Miami winning it. Here's the surprise. I'm picking Aaron Rodgers and the boys with the New York Jets. And you may say this is a reach, and I might wake up tomorrow with a shoulder injury reaching this far. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be such a massive difference maker. He will fix all that ails for the Jets as long as he stays on the field. Now, they've added a lot. They went out and they got the Charger big wide receiver, Mike Williams. They got a tight end. They fixed the injury-ravaged offensive line by getting Tyron Smith, the Pro Bowl left tackle from the Dallas Cowboys. They've got running backs led by Breece Hall. I think it's a really good team. Their defense has always been rugged, and now they got Aaron Rodgers. I'm picking the Jets as a surprise. In Buffalo, I got them finishing third, and if there's a transplanted Bills fan that's with us on the live stream, you have the invitation to call and jump up and down. They got greatness in Josh Allen, but there is no longer Stephon Diggs. They have never solved the gap in the running game. They lose Mike Milano, the inside linebacker. They let Trey White, the top DB, go because of injury problems. I just don't think they're a complete team. I think the window of opportunity for the Buffalo Bills, I think, is kind of closed. I got Buffalo finishing a surprising, disappointing third. And then I got life after Belichick being really hard in New England. Bill Belichick is gone. There's no doubt that Jared Mayo, the new head coach, comes from great lines, having been a linebacker and a star linebacker. They're going to be good on defense. I just question the makeup of the skill people on the roster. I just don't think they have very much skill around the quarterback. And they're starting Jacoby Brissett. I think they ought to be starting Drake May, but I just don't think there's enough talent in New England to even support the rookie quarterback. I think it's going to be a miserable season in Foxborough. And I'm not talking about the winter weather that arrives October 15th. You know, since Belichick said goodbye to Tom Brady, or Tom Brady said goodbye to Belichick, they are 29-38. And this might be the worst season of all, because I just think they're so negligible in skill talent around whoever the quarterback's going to be. I just think it's going to be a miserable season. John Riley, you get the smirk on your face, this gleam in your eye. I guess you're going to disagree with me. Go ahead. You tell me what you think about the East.
Aaron Rodgers, I don't even think he's going to make it through the season healthy. I mean, something's bound to happen, right? I mean, he's not going to, if he doesn't blow out another Achilles, he's going to blow out an ACL, or he's going to show up one day and he's going to be 62 years old. I mean, I just don't see it happening. I mean, I'd love to see Robert Saleh have some success, but to me, Josh Allen is a supreme talent, but I was concerned that they're missing a lot of pieces in Buffalo. I go back in time also thinking about Miami. Remember, they had the great teams in the 70s and even in the 80s, but Miami hasn't really made it to the Super Bowl since the 80s, right? It's been a long, long time.
But they've been building. I mean, you're not going to argue with me that they don't have great skill, are you?
Oh, no, of course not. No, they're loaded. And by the way, it is nice to see the Patriots at the bottom of the list. I mean, they were at the top of the NFC East for like 2 decades. So good for these other teams to get a shot. But for me, I've got Miami 1, I've got the Bills 2, and the Jets 3, and the Patriots 4.
The wild card in the argument about the Jets is that they fixed this offensive line. Their offensive line was just a wreck last year. And of course, Aaron Rodgers got hurt right in the first game. But they've gone out. You go get Tyron Smith. That's a really good left tackle. And Dallas had to let him go because of cap issues. He had one major injury. But they've got 3 new offensive linemen. Most of them have really recognizable names, Tyron Smith being the best. That's with Breece Hall and what they've got at wide receiver and what they brought in, I just think that they're going to be the surprise team. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to wind up in the hospital, because I think this offensive line is going to pass block and they're going to run block for Breece Hall. So, yeah, I like chocolate milkshake. So you'll buy me a chocolate milkshake when the Jets finish.
How old
in
is
second
Aaron
place.
Rodgers? Is he 40?
No, he's going on 38 or 39.
Okay, but he's got gray hair and the beard, man. I mean, I'm shocked that he's still playing, really.
That's him.
I know it is him, but I will be shocked if he makes it through 17 games.
Okay,
Who's the backup with the Jets?
That's a good question. Off the top of my head,
Because they got rid of Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I can't pull that off the top of my memory bank right now. Anyhow, he's not going to go down. Trust me, he's got a good offensive front. Okay, so if you're an AFC East football fan, show us your driver's license and who you root for, and then get on Fans Forum, jump on board, because it's obvious he and I don't agree on some of these teams.